What is up, frogs, friends, and family? Welcome back to another episode of Market Flow, powered by THOR, hosted by me, Mode. We've got the market moving, and we've got TAP making calls and making upgrades. So let's get into it. Let's see what the fuck we got going on. Right away, we're going to zoom out real quick. You see here, we're on a daily chart. We normally focus on the 4-hour within Market Flow. But I want to start here on the daily chart because there is something significant that we need to take a look at. And that is this zone right here. You see, once we've broken all-time highs, we have not had any red candles close in this zone. Once again, creating that new fair value gap by market makers. What do I mean? Basically, if you didn't have the balls to be DCAing down at the 62, the 56, and 52. Let's just take it from the 62. If you didn't have the balls to be DCAing into Bitcoin yet and you weren't buying in, well, guess what? Now you are buying your Bitcoin at a 40% premium. Even if you are buying at the all-time highs, if you want to add to your bag now, you're buying at a 20% premium. This is how market makers make money in a bull run. When they make everyone else rich by sending price up, they got to make themselves rich by collecting bags at the bottom and now selling to people at a premium as they FOMO in. So this is exactly what we wanted to see from the strength in the market. You know, if I zoom out a little bit, we even had a little hypothetical chart to where this was the actual price action of Bitcoin. And we said, once we finally see the higher low, once we finally get a higher low, expect a breakout and expect a new gap to be created here on all-time highs. It's almost like we're the market makers ourselves here at Frogs. We played this one so well. Things are looking good. Now, I'll dive into the 4-hour chart, which is how we normally view things. And if I go to TAP and we look at Bitcoin, we go, there are no 4-hour, there are no daily calls. That's what we usually focus on here at Market Flow. But let's look at this 1-hour because this is a juicy one. This is a pretty big call right here. We've got an entry. We see our entry and we see our take profit. Take profit is right about where we are in price. So this is basically retesting the EMA. This is a nice call, 8% plus on the 1-hour. That's the only reason I've included this one. Usually we don't look at anything below the 4-hour and the daily here on Market Flow sessions, but 8% Bitcoin call, that's a pretty good one. You'd be looking to buy here on support of the EMA. Looks pretty good. Let's see what happens with this fair value gap. Do market makers start to close it up a little bit, or do we extend it even further? Going into Solana, Solana very similar, yet different. Solana, we see once we've broken up out of, obviously not into all-time highs, right? We still got a ways to go to all-time highs. But after we broke that last major resistance, you can see we've been ranging, haven't really created that big fair value gap yet. And instead of THOR having a pretty juicy long call on the 1-hour, if we look at Solana, if we go to TAP, we take advice from THOR and we look at Solana on the 1-hour, we actually have a short instead of a long. So we have a short sitting up here, entry around 228, take profit down here at the EMA. So again, we're looking to potentially retest the EMAs. Very similar to Bitcoin, except we've got the 1-hour short instead of the 1-hour long. Things are still really looking good on the longer time frame. We left off talking about when on Tuesday. Literally, if we zoom back in, that was on the 12th, right? Where were we? Where was when on the 12th? Right down here, we said, hey, we're finding supports. We just retested our zone. The next one could break through. We talked about it right here. If you got in on that trade, we saw 80% plus, and we're currently sitting at 50% on this trade. Well done. Okay, we talked about what moved. We talked about a couple THOR calls. What opportunities do we still have? What is still down here in these zones for major accumulation? Obviously, not financial advice. Do your own research. W still looks to be lagging behind. It is making higher highs and higher lows, but it has not extended yet. It has not started to run. That's one you may want to consider. Shadow. If we look at Shadow, the last time it ranged and it was boring, when it decided to break out, it took a breakout of over 2,300%. Right now, Shadow is down, testing the range. It's boring. No one gives a shit about it. No one's paying attention to it. It's offering an 8x just to retest all-time highs. So look for your investment opportunities. Look to THOR for the immediate trades. You know, the investment opportunities are coming to a close. There's always a trade to be made. THOR can tell you what those trades are. It's updating constantly. I mean, just look at this. We've got 6 trades for Atom, 9 trades for AVAX, 3 trades for BNB, and you can see BNB is the only one moving up at the moment. Don't you wish you knew what these calls were and what to do? Well, get a frog and you will. After that, you can also look to use TAP, THOR, the world's first automated hedge fund built on blockchain by cyberfrogs. We've got Sol USD, Bonk USD, Jupe USD, more vaults and contracts coming. The average P&L for the users currently in our Sol contract, 51%. Frogs fuck, THOR Prints. See y'all next week.